I want to welcome Viamonte to our LeadingAge California 60/60 tour. It's very exciting to have all of you here. We're so excited. Melody is such a great leader, has been a long time partner with LeadingAge California, and we're thrilled to have both Joanie and Lon as well on our 60/60 tour. So I think, Melody, we're going to start with you. It would be great if you could tell us just a little bit about yourself and also a little bit about Viamonte.
Sure. Well, I am thrilled to be an executive director in the nonprofit senior living industry. It's such a rewarding career, and I get so many benefits that it's just hard to describe. Mostly it's just having wonderful residents and staff to interact with and share our lives together. And so I've been doing this a little over 20 years, and I'm just thrilled to be at Viamonte. I can't think of a better place to work. As of today, we have 67 apartments occupied with 101 residents. And just to give you an overview of what Viamonte will be eventually when we're full, we have 174 independent living apartments. We have 7 assisted living apartments and 10 memory care apartments. So we are in a more urban setting, in the corner of a shopping center near shopping and medical and a lot of community services. And we're just thrilled that we all got vaccinated starting in December. So we have a high percentage of vaccinated residents and staff, which is wonderful. And we're just happy that we get to start welcoming folks to come and tour our beautiful building.
Well, I think you were if not our first, one of our first members, because I remember when I think I was on a call and there was a comment that Viamonte was getting vaccinated. So you were early, which was terrific. Real advocacy on the part of Sequoia Living and the whole organization. So really,
we were very fortunate.
Yeah.
Tell us about the pet club with the dog right there in your lap.
Okay. Well, I kind of spearheaded that because I felt like one of us asking for something that we needed for the dog didn't get too far. So I figured if we had a group and Kate, our life enrichment coach, would help us, that we'd be able to do more. And of course, that would be a good way for all the dog people to meet. Although most of us had met already, because when we first moved in, we were all sequestered into our apartments, except for the dog people who had to take their dogs out for walks. So consequently, we all met pretty early on. But it's really nice. We actually have a meetup where we can meet. Okay, Alfie, get down. Where we talk about things that we need, and if anyone is having any issues with their dog, we try to help, and it's just a really good thing.
That is great. Well, tell us more about yourself, Lon. Tell us how you got there and where you're from. And
so I'm born and raised in San Francisco. Viamonte's done different spotlights on different residents, kind of telling their life story. And I thought, well, maybe that's what I should do, if that's okay with you, is kind of write or read what was written. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So it says, future resident Lon Shapiro. From 60s San Francisco flower child to self-taught gardener and successful garden designer, Lon Shapiro finds himself at the beginnings of a new path in life. I'm second generation San Franciscan. I have been firmly rooted in the city by the bay, grew up by the ocean in Golden Gate Park, and these were kind of my places away from home. I lived in the park and spent much of my time at the zoo. I was always fascinated by all the animals and stuff. I was one of the original San Francisco flower children of the colorful Haight-Ashbury scene in the 60s. I've storied days hanging out, listening to music people like the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia, The Doors, Jefferson Airplane, Grace Slick. And I had the privilege of meeting Janis Joplin
Hmm.
and was friends with her for as many years as she lived. So that was kind of amazing. And then it said, or it says, I'm sorry, while I'm nostalgic about that time, the turbulent counterculture movement also served as a backdrop for my personal struggles. I was a gay teenager in the 60s when homosexuality was not accepted by the mainstream. There were a lot of times of fear. I was bullied. I wasn't accepted by my own family. But fortunately, I lived in San Francisco and I could find other young gay men like myself. And that gave me hope. There was more to all of that. And it says another quiet truth that was coming to light in Lon's early adulthood. I was dyslexic. And I went through my entire schooling without learning how to read or how to write. So I had to find, I'm off my story path here, so I better stick to it. It says, without reading how, desperate for ways to survive through trial and error, I taught myself how to garden. I created a whole new world for myself. But even with all my gardening skills, I was unable, because I had no formal education, I couldn't get a job anywhere. Once again, in the face of another kind of a struggle, I dug deep, finding the independence and creativity that would free me, and I started my own garden company. That was almost 40 years ago. It says, what has allowed me to get through all my struggles is knowing that there are options. We should never run out of options. There are many ways to do things. My strong spirit, my practice in Eastern philosophy, and my reverence for nature have sustained me throughout all the changes in my life. It says change, and moving with that change is really a healthy thing. If we're not open to change, we don't grow. So that's kind of what my 60s and today. So I've had a lot of struggles, and I've never felt better. I've never felt safer. I think everybody in the community feels the same way. Everything, I don't have family, so it's basically me and the dog. Now I have it's funny, it's like having 100 roommates.
Your whole trajectory and how you, found gardening. And for 40 years, started a company and we're a gardener. And what a beautiful culmination of options, to think through.
I know every single plant on this entire property. And we started a garden group, and it's been pretty amazing to see the interest and even the excitement in everybody to be able to get their hands in the earth. There's nothing better than getting your hands in the earth. So it has saved me, and it's taught me a lot.